They say only legends know the trick of surviving in the corporate world. Everyone else is just another number-crunching cog in the machine. Today we'll look at what you can do if you're smarter than your boss. Welcome to our channel, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. In 2016, the Silicon Valley-based company Slack conducted an experiment. The customer service representatives were given access to a vast database, one that contained all types of information about their clients. This vast repository of knowledge would have allowed them to answer most customer questions with ease. But guess what? The data showed that instead of using this database, the employees chose to rely on their intuition and experience. Why? Because they felt that acting like corporate robots, cold and calculating, would destroy the emotional bond that they had managed to establish with their customers. We admire the sentiment, but in the cutthroat world of corporate business, feelings are for losers. Logic and data are king. So today, let's talk about how to use those weapons properly. Know when to use your brain. We understand why you might want to keep your head down. Some companies, being a smarty-pants, will earn you nothing but envy and professional jealousy. Ever heard of the Peter Principle? It states that employees tend to rise to their level of incompetence. The higher the position, the more mediocre the skills required to fill it. We hate to break it to you, but your super genius neighbor probably got promoted because his boss lacked the intelligence to spot his toxic attitude. Being smart doesn't always help you in your career. Sometimes it can actually hurt you. Take a look around you and you'll see several examples of this. Guy who boasts a PhD but works as a janitor, or a woman with an MBA delivering pizzas. Here's the harsh truth. Your brains will only get you so far in life. After a certain point, it's the size of your network and the strength of your character that truly matter. So figure out when to use your brain and when to hold your horses. For example, if you're trying to please your narcissistic boss by offering extra solutions to his problems, stop. He wants you to prove yourself over and over again, but never tires of piling on new tasks. Think about it. Why did he hire you in the first place? If he didn't trust you to do the job? Now, if your boss asks for feedback and you want to tell the truth, go ahead. But don't expect things to change. Your honesty will only result in a false promise to improve. Why? Because a narcissistic boss never changes. On the other hand, if your honest feedback accidentally offended a decent boss, he would surely appreciate your candor and admit his shortcomings. The key is knowing the difference between the two. Number 2. Master the art of reading people. You've seen him do it? Steve Jobs could read any audience like an open book. He knew exactly what they wanted to hear, and he delivered it. Charismatic leaders like him leverage social cues and body language to judge a person's intentions. Of course, you're no Steve Jobs, but maybe you're better at reading people than you think. Have you ever noticed how your gut tells you something is wrong before you can process the situation with your mind? That's called intuition. Intuition is your ability to analyze people by looking at their behavior and drawing conclusions about their personality. Let's take one of the most famous examples from pop culture. Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs. The FBI agent was warned that Hannibal was every bit the monster they imagined, yet she couldn't help but be charmed by him. She literally said, "I thought you were supposed to be dangerous." And then he smiled. Hannibal was indeed dangerous, but Catherine was too focused on his charm to realize it. It took a while, but eventually she understood how to deal with him. Basically, she learned how to read him. You need to master this skill, especially when dealing with your boss. Reading people helps you make sound judgments about others and predict their actions. It also allows you to connect with people on a personal level and create strong relationships. And everyone knows that connections lead to opportunities. Some people may think that reading others means being manipulative. However, that's not true. It simply means understanding different perspectives and building meaningful connections. This approach leads to increased productivity and success in both professional and personal relationships. Number 3, know when to shut up. People say that only legends know when to keep their mouths shut, and for good reason. In the high-pressure environment of the corporate world, knowing when to stay quiet is an invaluable skill. Imagine this scenario. You're presenting an idea to your team when suddenly you notice a flaw in your proposal. One wrong move, and you might lose all credibility. So you bite your tongue and swallow the words. Just by staying silent, you've successfully avoided a potential disaster. That's what we call having killer instincts. In the game of business, silence can often be the best revenge. By staying quiet, you avoid making matters worse. It gives you time to collect your thoughts and plan your next move strategically. Staying quiet is also a sign of respect. When someone is talking, it shows that you value their input and are listening attentively. It also gives you time to consider different points of view and come to a better understanding of the situation. In the long run, this will save you from many arguments and debates. There's a quote that goes, "The fool talks when he should listen. The leader listens when he should talk." As a smart person, you must learn to control your emotions and choose your words carefully. Don't show off your intelligence just for the sake of it. Instead, use your wisdom to solve problems and achieve your goals. Trust us, the world will reward you for that. 4. Use their tactics against them. Is your boss playing dirty? Are your colleagues stabbing you in the back? The best way to deal with them is to use their own tactics against them. In the corporate world, it's important to be able to navigate difficult situations and come out on top. That's why it's crucial to be aware of the strategies and tactics used by others and how to counter them effectively. For example, if your boss keeps micromanaging you, set clear boundaries and assert your independence. If your colleague tries to undermine you, gather evidence of their behavior and present it to HR. If there's gossip going around, ignore it and focus on your work. By using these tactics, you'll be able to protect yourself and advance in your career. Remember, in the game of business, you must learn to fight fire with fire. Number 5, know when to walk away. You may find yourself in a situation where you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Your current workplace is like a sinking ship, pulling you down with it. Maybe your boss has been demoted and they're now out for blood. Or perhaps you just got done with a big project and you're waiting for your bonus check. Whatever the case, sometimes the smartest thing you can do is to walk away. But wait, don't slam the door on your way out. We're not advocating a dramatic exit. We're suggesting a calculated retreat. Give your boss a proper 2 weeks' notice, enough time for them to find your replacement. Make sure to document everything. If you feel you're being treated unfairly, send a formal email outlining your concerns to your boss's superior. Finally, update your LinkedIn profile and start searching for new opportunities. Don't burn bridges, but don't hesitate to move on. There will always be greener grass somewhere else. If you're smarter than your boss, you shouldn't think of yourself as superior. Instead, try to understand their perspective and challenges they face. Show them respect and support, and seek their advice when needed. By doing so, you can build a positive relationship and create a win-win situation for both of you. Remember, it's not about being smarter than your boss, but rather working together to achieve common goals. Focus on your own professional growth and development, and be patient with your boss. With time and effort, you can build a fulfilling career and achieve your dreams. Now, we want to ask you a question. How did you deal with a situation where you were smarter than your boss? Share your story in the comments below. We're eager to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an upload. And remember, we've got more awesome content coming up.